Derek from the Broken Token, who's the designer. Are you one of the designers or the designer?
I'm the designer of this one at least.
Gotcha.
Alright, so the biggest differences between our Deluxe Edition and the do-it-yourself kit is Deluxe comes pre-built, pre-stained.
And this is the most expensive option.
Yeah, the most expensive option, $350. They're numbered 1 through 300, so it's a limited run. We've added brass tags, corners, which I think looks a really nice touch. And then the lettering on here is actually separate pieces that we put in place inside, so it's like embossed with the gold color on it. On the regular crate, the lettering is just engraved and there's an outline of the band.
Gotcha.
Where this is like the whole thing is engraved. But that takes a lot more time to do. So that's what adds to the cost as well.
And there's two different color options for the.
So this is the black with the red highlight, and then we have red with a black highlight.
So that's obviously if you want to get even more deluxe, but here we got a shot of the actual insert. Is the basic inside very different between the different options?
No, they're not very different. In fact, they're identical.
Okay.
The upside of this one being that it's all pre-built.
Right.
You're looking at like maybe an hour and a half. You're good at it, putting it together yourself, because there's a lot of trays here.
And I see one of the things I saw when you were describing it is, unlike the Blood Rage insert, where it was the birch clips for all the different monsters, you got something different this time.
Yeah. So we've got acrylic plastic clips now, and the benefit to that is it's a little springier. We don't have to worry about the grain direction, because that made a big difference with the birch, and it's a lot smoother with putting them in.
And a little sturdier, because I did notice that sometimes if it was thin enough, the birch would be very pliable.
The acrylic is brittle, so it took a lot of iterations to find like the right thickness so that it didn't break all the time. But we got to where it feels really nice, and it's going to last a good while.
If I may.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm going to break the birch before I break the acrylic. Not to say that this is pretty sturdy, and I like the way and all of the editions will have the burned in descriptions, right?
The names, and then we've even added the numbers.
Oh, the base numbers. That's great.
So you don't have to memorize the name of the monster.
What's that number again?
Yeah. So it makes it a little easier. Put everything away.
Okay, so that's if you want to break us down and show us what all the different pieces are.
So we've got all the monsters and trays. There's a lot of those things, especially if you have the Kickstarter exclusives. Then we have the Kami Unbound expansion.
Right.
All in one tray.
Oh, with the cards in there too.
Yeah,
I like that.
There. This was pretty clever. You can slide them out, more or less.
More or less.
On the back here. There you go.
Nice.
That was one of the hardest parts, was figure out where to put those cards. It was like the last thing I needed to do. Then we've got the 7 Lucky Gods from the Dynasty Invasion. And then we've got all 8 of the factions in their own trays. So,
which the base game is 6, right?
5. And
Okay.
then there's the Fox Clan, which is the Kickstarter exclusive clan. We got the Sun and Moon from the Dynasty Invasion. And then each of these trays are identical, so they're labeled as well. So the Daimyo goes in its spot, Shinto goes in its spot, and then all the Bushi go in their spots.
Identical, except they have the clan engraving on the box.
Yeah, except the clan.
And it looks like the turtle being the only one that's got the clan stuff separately for practical purposes.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about our organizer being officially licensed is that we've got the art and the fonts from the actual game in the organizer.
And one thing I will note, because I've been researching different Rising Sun inserts just because the game needs something. And one thing I did like when I saw the announcement for y'all's is that everything is by clan. So, like if I'm playing Turtle, all I gotta do is go take I can hand these. Whereas a lot of the other ones were grouping by stuff. Like, here's all your strongholds, here's all your the different Bushi. So that's what I did like. You did that with Blood Rage, and I enjoyed that. So
that's almost always one of our goals with an insert is this is what a player needs for their clan, you hand it to them. That's what makes setup so much faster.
Right.
You're done. You know, and if you're not playing with any of these other clans,
And clean up.
yeah, they don't need to come out of the box. So then we've got the one tray for money.
Oh yeah, that looks like the placards.
Yeah. So
Mandates. There we go.
mandates, you know, fit the
Yep.
Kickstarter fancy ones or the cardboard ones will fit in there just fine.
We got the flags.
The boards, yeah, the flags.
There's the different kami.
Yeah. So we call this the Kami Turtle Tray. These guys were just a real pain to figure out where to put them.
I can imagine.
Because they're so much bigger than anything else, but you know they fit in there nicely. And then all the season cards separated by the icons.
So obviously, just to reiterate the breakdown on price. So it's how much was the deluxe if you get
Deluxe,
everything?
pre-stained, pre-built, $350.
Okay.
And then we've got the DIY kit that comes with the outside crate, which is $160.
So that's if you want this, but you may want to like detail it yourself, basically.
You tell yourself, we'll just have it plain. And then we've got our Daimyo collection organizer, which is basically the innards of this box.
But you want to keep your boxes. All right. But you also have the option, so a lot of this stuff is Kickstarter based, but you also sell just the base, I guess just the bottom half of this.
Pretty much.
I believe that was $60?
Yeah, $60
Yeah.
is the core organizer.
So even if you're just getting the base box now, you missed the whole Kickstarter, it's still worthwhile because there's still a lot of stuff in there.
It still helps a lot.
And all this stuff is available now on your website,
Yeah,
brokenturkey.com. Awesome. Thank you very much for walking us through it.